Right then folks, so we're going into the third hour now on day 3 of the On the Flyer TV Glebe Cup here at the Glebe, and as you already know from the other posts, this is a festival based on weight. So over the 3 days, the angler with the best accumulative weight is going to walk away as the very first On the Flyer TV Glebe Cup champion. Now, I've come down to Lake 5, we're just currently stood opposite Mark Miller. Mark's probably got about £40, not in contention for the frame today unfortunately, but he's going to be sitting on about £250 overall. But next to him is Matty Higgins. Now Matty Higgins is in 4th place overall after the 3 days. Next to him is Jason Dunsworth, who's in 3rd place overall. So these two are having a little bit of a battle now. Matty struggled early on, very similar match to Sam Collett because he was on the same peg Sam Collett had on the first day. Hasn't been able to string much together earlier on in the match, but there you go folks, he's come down his edge just like Sam Collett did on the first day, and it's black. So Matty Higgins has managed to find a few fish down this edge, which is exactly the same as what Sam Collett did when he put £342 on the net on the first day. Next to him, as we've just said, is Jason Dunsworth. Now going into today, Jason was in 3rd and Matty was in 4th, but Jason only had a £6 lead. However, Jason today has been catching really well on the rod. I would probably say that Jason's winning the match at this point. I would say he's going to have 90, 95, £100. But his fish are a lot smaller than what Matty's catching. So who knows? I mean, I don't think that's the biggest one for the margins, but he's stringing a few together now and they're coming quite fast. Whereas Jason, about an hour ago, was absolutely bagging. He couldn't get his feeder in quick enough before it was going round, but it's definitely slowed off. So who knows what's going to happen for 3rd place here. He's in now, Luke Jason is. We'll keep on walking down. Let me just come out a little bit because it affects it a little bit. So to keep you in the loop folks, up on Lake 1 we have our current festival leaders, which is Sam Collett, who's on peg 15. That one's just come off for Jason. Sam Collett's on peg 15 and he's sitting on a combined weight of about £600 for the 2 days. And next to him is Luke Bamford, who's in 2nd place, and he's going into today, he was £30 behind Sam. Now about an hour and a half ago when I was last up there, they both got around £40 to £50, so it's going to be obviously a lot more than that now, I would imagine. But Sam's peg was noticeably slower than Luke's, and Luke had got those pace fish coming, so I wouldn't like to call it just as I hoped for all you folks at home and for me watching it. It's going to be really close for 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Look, there you go. Matty Higgins is in again down that margin. But in response to that, so's Jason. So they're having a right toe-to-toe here. There's Matty down the edge on the old pole. And Jason chuck it to the far bank just below, just here on the old cage feeder. I think that's a skimmer, whereas that certainly is not a skimmer. So folks, I mean, I don't know what else I can say. You've seen it at the same time as I am. I'm not going to lie, it's pretty exciting. This is a battle for 3rd and 4th. Normally everything always gets lost in 1st and 2nd, but in all honesty, I think this is going to be the battle of the day. Only £6 separated them before the match. I would say Jason's definitely leading Matty at this stage because he's had a really good run on that tip. But Matty has done exactly what Sam Collett has done on the first day and gone down that edge. And look at the size of the fish compared to the fish that Jason's been pulling out. I'm not saying that Jason hasn't had big fish because he's had 2 fish that were £10 each, but predominantly Jason's are a lot smaller. So there's the battle for third and fourth, folks, and then bringing you down. I'll zoom back out a bit so it's not so jerky for you. There's my old mate, Tom Scully. Now Tom hasn't had the greatest of festivals, to be honest, and he says himself he's fished poorly, but today he's doing alright. He's gone shallow, learnt from his mistakes the first 2 days, gone shallow, and I think he's got about 60-70 pound, and he's been catching some decent sized fish in all honesty. Is it too late? Yeah, definitely. For him to do any real damage, he would have needed to get about 350 pound today, which is definitely not going to happen, I would imagine. Not unless his edge just turns to complete fish from top to bottom, and I don't think it's going to. I think that Matty's taking advantage of that edge line. And well, so much so, look, he's forced Jason onto the pole, so Jason's obviously seen what's happening next door and has come on his short pole, because as I said, that feeder line was definitely tapering off. Unfortunately, folks, for some reason I'm having a few issues putting videos actually on Facebook. It just won't upload, so I'm not quite sure what's happening there, but I thought I'd just bring you one of these live feeds. Afternoon, Mike. So feel free to message me with any questions you've got, because I don't know why, but today it's not uploading. Andrew, man, how are you, boy? Yeah, I've got a couple of videos I've tried to upload and it just won't work. There we go. Look at this, Jason. Straightaways, and that's a sign of a good angler, isn't it? He's seen Matty on the next peg, rattling a few in on the old pole, and he's done the same. Gone on short line. He won't be fishing paste. Bloody hell, it's a decent sized fish though. And interestingly, the minute that he's dropped on the pole, it's gone quieter in Matty's peg. It's interesting how these fish work. We were talking about this earlier on this venue. There's no like one tactic that works. There's me saying that about Matty, looking you straight into one. Yeah, there's no one tactic that works. You have like Sam Collett that won the match on the first day, predominantly on the rod. Sorry, on the down the edge, and then you have like Jason who came second with predominantly all the rod work. It's just crazy. And then you have Luke Bamford, who obviously is massive paste fisherman that's absolutely fantastic at it. They just wipes up on paste. And then some lads yesterday did really well on pellets, whereas Tom yesterday, he'll tell you, he was fishing corn, couldn't get a bite on corn, and then last hour dropped a pellet over the corn line whilst there was still corn in there, and had 11 fish on the bounce. So just shows you've got to be willing to change. And then that old adage that if you think something's wrong, change it. Don't sit about thinking that you should have done it later, as Tom did unfortunately yesterday, and it's cost him. Mark Boyer, or Boyer, sorry pal, this is a 3-day Glebe festival at the Glebe, which is down by Mallory Park, Leicestershire. Predominantly a carp fishery, absolutely solid, and it's a 3-day festival, and it's based on weight, so the best weight over the 3 days is what's going to determine who's going to be the first champion of this competition. It's the first year we put this on, certainly won't be the last. And there you have it, folks, look at that. And whilst we've been on this live for 10 minutes, Matt Higgins has probably put 17 pound in his net. And then on the end peg, Mr. Barley, he's into a fish as well. So there's plenty of fish coming out on Lake 5. The rest of the venue struggled a little bit, but definitely coming out of this lake fast and furious. So we were promised a great last day, because we've got Sam Collett and Luke Bamford up on Lake 1, next pegs to each other, and them two are fighting it out for first and second place, because they are £100 in front of the rest of the field. But you've just seen third and fourth place are also next to each other, which is Matt Higgins and Jason Dunsworth. Them two are definitely battling it out, and I wouldn't even wipe them out of saying that they're going to not catch up on that £100. So anybody could win this match today and take the championship after the 3 days. I've got to say, although I was writing him off earlier on, if Matty Higgins' peg is coming alive like it looks like it would do, he is going to, then he could have a day like Sam Collett. And if he has a £300 day and Sam Collett has a £150 day, anything can happen. So folks, stay tuned. I'll keep on trying to bring you videos. As I said, I'm sorry, I'm having a few issues with uploading onto YouTube. Sorry, Facebook. But stay tuned. As soon as I can bring you some more footage, I will do. And also, I'll let you know the results as soon as we finish. But until then, thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you soon.